In this video, I'm going to show you how to write a program in your TI-84 calculator that calculates the quadratic formula for you. If all you want is the code I use, you can just pause the video and copy this down. But in the video, I'm going to walk you through every single step and button push that will actually allow you to write this program. Now, I don't know that this is the perfect program for the quadratic formula, but it's one that I came up with and that it has always worked really well for me. And I am able to use the general idea behind this program to write a program for any formula that you might want to be able to calculate quickly with your calculator. Basically, the program takes and asks and prompts you for A, B, and C. So it's going to ask me what's A, what's B, what's C. And then it's going to display some math that happens on that and give me the answer here. And I'll show you what that looks like. But using this prompt and then display, you could basically write any program to display any equation that you want, so long as you're able to solve for your desired quantity. So let's go ahead and run this program. I'm going to go execute, and I've named it formula for a minute. Say I have a quadratic 1x squared, that's my A value. It's prompting me for B. Let's say it's 5x, and then C plus 4. So this quadratic would have zeros at -1 and -4. So x equal -1, x equal -4 would be my answers. And so the quadratic formula program that I wrote gives me those zeros, and it's pretty darn nice. So I'm going to show you how we can actually write this. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is click on this program button. If you're on a fancier version or a newer version of the TI-84, it might ask you, do you want to do TI Basic or Python? Click on TI Basic. Once you're here, you're going to click Write twice to create a new program. You're going to hit Enter, and you have to name your program. Now, I am going to call mine QuadFo. The naming feature of this is kind of limited. You can only name it with a certain number of characters. I think it's only 8 characters. Yeah, so you could call it QuadForm if you want, QuadFo. We'll go QuadForm, whatever. And then when you've got your name set, you press Enter. And now we're into the writing lines of code here. Here we're going to click on Program, and then we're going to scroll to the right for the I/O. And that's sort of inputs and outputs. And the second line here is prompt. I'm going to scroll down to that, and I'm going to press Enter. So now I've got my program quadratic formula. My first line says prompt, and I'm going to tell this program to prompt A. So I'm going to click alpha to get to this A, comma, alpha B, comma, alpha C. And so those commas tells it I want it to prompt me A, then I want it to prompt me B, and then prompt C. If you wanted, you could write 3 prompt lines: prompt A, new line; prompt B, new line; prompt C. Okay, so I'm going to run my program right now. If you don't want to run it, you don't have to. But if you want to quit out of this programming screen, you're going to hit second, and then to get to quit, you'll just click mode. Now when you click program, it opens that basic program screen, and in this EXEC execute, I'm going to scroll down to QuadForm. It'll come up in my main area, and then I press enter to execute it. So now it's asking me what's A. It's prompting for A, so say I say 1, say B is 2, and say C is 1. So this is some quadratic. You'll notice the program runs, it asks me for these prompts, but then it just says done. Because at the moment we haven't told the program to do anything with those prompts. It just asks for A, B, and C, and then it's just, okay, great. So to get back into the program, we're going to click the program button. To execute is here, but to edit, we have to scroll one to the right. And then we're going to select the program we want to edit, which is QuadForm. We're going to go down to our next line, and we are going to click on Program. Once you're already in this program editor, if you click Program again, rather than taking you to the main screen, it takes you to the list of all these commands. So I'm going to scroll right to the I/O. Now I'm going to hit Display, because this is going to tell the program to display, and then I'm going to tell it to do a bunch of math. So I'm going to do a parentheses, because you have to be really careful with parentheses in order of operations. So to be safe, I put a parentheses for my numerator. You're going to type negative alpha B, which is taking your B value and taking negative B. We're going to do plus the square root of b squared, alpha b squared, minus 4 times a times c. Now, I know the calculator knows how to interpret this with the correct order of operations, but if you want it to be safer, just add more parentheses so there's no debate. Now I'm going to close the parentheses. I have to be really careful because this square root is this set of parentheses here. But I need to finish my numerator, so I'm going to do one more parentheses, and that says that's all in the numerator. Now I'm going to put my fraction bar so it says all of that is over, and then to be safe in my denominator, I'm going to do all over 2a in parentheses, so there's no debate, and that should work just fine. I'm going to hit enter to get to a new line. I'm going to click program, scroll right, go down to display, press enter, and I'm going to copy this exact line down, except for one slight difference. So alpha b, this time I'm going to do minus because it's plus or minus, but the calculator has to interpret that as separate lines. One line for plus, one line for minus. And so I'll do square root of b squared minus 4ac, close the square root parentheses, close the numerator parentheses, divided by parentheses 2 alpha a, close parentheses. And that's it. That's all my code has to do. It just wants to tell me the two zeros. So the quadratic formula is good to go. To get out of this program screen, I can hit second and get to the quit. So second mode gets me to quit. Great. Say I want to run my program quadratic formula. So program quad form, press enter. I need to press enter again to start running it. And now I type in the values I want. So say I type in 1, 2, and 1. I get -1 and -1. So this is a perfect square. It's a square of a binomial. X plus 1 squared would expand to x squared plus 2x plus 1. So I get 2 of the same solution. If I didn't have a perfect square binomial, I could run my program, run it with like 1. Let's do 6 for fun, and let's do 8. So I should get -2 and -4. Very good. And this program can even handle imaginary solutions. To do so, you have to make sure, if you click on mode and scroll down, we have to be in this imaginary A plus BI mode. So a lot of times calculators by default will be in this real mode. And to get out of this screen, you'll hit second quit again. So if I run quadratic formula in real mode and I pick some quadratic with no solution, so say it's like 1 and -5 and negative, or no, we'll do positive, something big like 100. Okay, in real mode, all calculations must be a real number. So it has error, non-real answers, problem. So I'm going to quit, but I could do the same thing if I change my mode to A plus BI. Now I'm going to get complex answers, imaginary answers. Second quit to get back, run my program quad form. And so I can do 1, -5, and 100. And I'll get 2.5 plus some irrational number I, where this is some square root. I'm not sure how to get this to display radicals. In mode, like there's this math print mode versus classic. Maybe I'll try classic and see what that looks like. So if I run my quad form program, and let's pick one, this shouldn't work. This should be a decimal. Yeah, so that's imaginary again. Yeah, I'm not totally sure if that's possible to make this into a radical or not. If you find a way to do it, put a comment below. Yeah, I don't quite see it. I mean, we could try fraction approximation. I don't know. I'm skeptical. Let's try it. Let's try 3, 3, 3. Yeah, it's not doing it. Okay. Well, if you figure out a way, pop it in the comments. But otherwise, I mean, there's nothing wrong with a decimal approximation. Certainly, nice to just be able to verify and check. And it's a quick way to see like, oh, are my solutions real? Are they imaginary? One more time, I'll hover over this program. You can double check it, make sure everything looks good. Use it to build a program for anything you want. You can do any sort of equation that you could possibly have a formula for. You could have area of a circle, and you could prompt for r, the radius, and then display pi r squared, and it'll tell you the area. Or you could have it display 2 pi r, the circumference. So lots and lots of different options. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.